we've run our diagnosis. And we're going to get back into the diagnosis next day, and we're going to show you all what won. But the ECU, this vehicle is not started, BMW 5 Series, and it's not starting. So what we had done, there's our power probe unit on the ground here. But we unmount the ECU from here, because we'll check our power supplies and grounds. We're going to show you, we're going to go through the diagram, we're going to show you all of that. Come on the next side, it's really, yes, I have a co-pilot on the ends. So if we did all that, we run through some of the, well, I ended up taking out that corner there, wasn't sure, yeah. So we're going to take you all through the process. The ECU portion, that portion failed. We're not getting any signal coming up, and we're not getting any CAN communication on the network, of course, because the ECU is off. So we're going to power the ECU, take the ECU out. We're going to power the ECU on the bench before we call it. We're going to power it on the bench to make sure, because there's some stones we left unturned. So we're going to do that first, and then we're going to come back to it. If it failed, of course, we just get the next one. Diagnosis well done. If not, we come back and we continue the diagnosis to the end. We're going to keep you all posted. So here we are. We have set up our bench test for the DME, and we pinned them out. But, well, again, we're not just pinning it off the top of our head. We have all of our diagrams and so on here. We have the scan tool, which is connected across there, but we still got a problem, because one of our ports, which is supposed to be power, is the 12-volt power here, and if we put this power into the port here, which is supposed to be right, this is one of the ports that's supposed to have the power supplies coming to the ECU. These is sensor controls, and on that end. So if we put it in, so we're gonna put it in. Watch what's happening to the watch the light blinks. Every time we put it in, the light blinks, and that tells me that something inside of the ECU is strong enough. Now I came up with that because I saw it started to do that once you switch on one of these switches, which is there to test. So you can basically switch it off, and you can switch it on. So we did switch it on. It started to blink and beep, because there's a circuit protection in the go diag. So we started to short them out one by one, and recognize that all of them can go in besides this one. So that's a problem. The problem is not about to go away, because we're going to pull out another of our power supplies, and we're going to use it to check here. And you can see the light still blinking, which again, so we're going to open this ECU. Basically, we're going to open this DME, and we're going to try to find out. We're going to take these pins out here one by one. Let's power this off. This to help us find out what is really going wrong inside of this ECU. So my guess, something probably burned and ground off somewhere on the board. So we're going to open it to see what it is, because again, even if this ECU was to be bad, and again, we haven't finished the test yet, this is just basic, but if this ECU even was to be bad, we gotta find out what blew it. We'll have an idea of what blew it, because we can put the next one and it can blow as well. So that's why we have all of these fancy tools and sets up here. So it's very important that we get this done, because you can find a problem and end up in another problem. So here it is. We're going to find out what's going on here, and then from here we're going to open this ECU. Definitely from here we're going to go back to the vehicle and see what's going on. But definitely steps, everything got to be steps. We clean out, and we have our heat gun, because we're going to open this ECU. We have a Torx. Alright, and that's to take out the torque bolts. These are the bolts that goes into the sorry, it's on the other side of this. Right, goes inside of there. So we're gonna open this unit, and we're gonna take it apart. Let's put away this, and we're gonna see tools and everything. We realize it's sealed. It's pretty much sealed up. Let's see. So the bolts actually goes into the top corner here. Yeah, but it's sealed up. So we're gonna try to open it out. Right away, the heat from the heat gun, but inside here smells bad, something burned. So something is definitely burned. So you're gonna look and see what is burned. So definitely something inside this ECU burned. Wow, it smells bad. Now if it is you look, I don't know if you can see it, but if it is you look around this area, you can see a difference. It smells burned, but you can see the black spot here where you can see the heat. So something on the board burned. So definitely our diagnosis was perfectly correct. Again, this is what we're talking about. Sometimes when we do training courses, we tell people come to the training courses. It's all about procedures. It's not about being all technical and all. It's being some technical, but also understanding the procedures. And once you follow the procedures, you're going to gain experience over time. And again, this is another top of the line diagnosis. Again, being able to open this, again, comes down to tools or a heat gun. Once this sealant get hot, you can remove it. So I know some people damage up the board and things trying to remove it, but again, tools with everything. But you can see the heat around there, and you can smell the dirt, nasty smell, electrical burn stuff. So you know something burned, and you can actually see it. If you flip the board, we can actually see it. So we're going to do that. But definitely, this board is damaged. As you say, it's all about diagnostics. We run the car earlier today. We run the tests. We know what we was looking for. This is where the knowledge comes in. Do you know what you're looking for? Because you can test all day if you don't know what you're expecting. If you don't know how the system's supposed to work or what's supposed to do what, it doesn't matter. Information is the next thing. We had the vehicle diagram, yeah. But again, having the vehicle diagram, do you understand circuit diagrams? Do you understand what's necessary? Do you understand how much volts supposed to be going to, coming from all of those things? The different components, relays, capacitors, how they function. Once you understand that, you know what's supposed to happen. You'll be very sure when you don't see what you're supposed to happen. You say, okay, nothing else can control that. That's a problem. So you cut time, do that diagnosis. Of course, sometimes you do second guess, and it's important sometimes to second guess because it saves you sometimes. I've been saved from it. And then, of course, we just follow the data for the diagnosis, and then here we are, and you can actually see around that capacitor, right? I don't know if we're getting closer. You see around that capacitor, you can see that dark spot. So you know definitely, you can see all the little pitted spots there. It's burned. So again, diagnosis is what we're talking about. We are here on the ECU again, as we say, and we have our heat gun, and we're just going to move it along the sides here so that we can get the glue or the sealant to just get off of it. It gets soft, and then we try to pull it apart. We have a screwdriver here, and we're going to try to just pry it open. Just not to damage the board. A lot of times people damage the board because they have not heated up to try to just open it. Some people use knives and so on and try to cut it, but the best way I find thus far is to actually heat it up and then separate it. We have a fancy tool. We're going to look at the next side of this board because we can see in broad daylight now this area here is burned, overheated, so you can see it, right? It's good daylight so you can see it. And the board, of course, the board is smelling bad. So we have our heater, and we're going to be heating up the sealant. As we heat the sealant up, it's going to release. You don't try to prise the board. A lot of people try to prise the board and damage it. No, this is where tools comes in, and tools make the work very easy. So you just heat it and then pull it apart. We are here on the ECU again, as we say, and we have our heat gun, and we're just going to move it along the sides here so that we can get the glue or the sealant to just get off of it. It gets soft, and then we try to pull it apart. We have a screwdriver here, and we're going to try to just pry it open, just not to damage the board. A lot of times people damage the board because they have not heated up to try to just open it. Some people use knives and so on and try to cut it, but the best way I find thus far is to actually heat it up and then separate it. We heat it up, so we're just going to try to get the screwdriver underneath here and just turn the screwdriver a bit, and you can see the glue parts in between here. Just shredding up a bit, and then we can just push this part up, and we can just go right around, and we can do some on this side as well. Right, and then we can just, it's a little hot, and then we can pull it apart. Yeah, pull it apart, and here we are. And if we look at the back side of the board, we can see the burn spots. So definitely something burned this ECU. This ECU is really properly well burned. So yeah, so we definitely need another ECU.